The answer is hormones, and get a pen and paper handy because I'm going to give you 6 different ones that may be limiting you from losing weight. My name is Dr. Story. I've been a doctor of chiropractic for over 27 years. I'm going to give you realistic advice based on my experience and based on the scientific literature. I have had many patients that have had a hard time losing weight, and it turns out when you finally send them to get some blood work, we find out why. It's hormones. But I'm going to give you a list of 6 different things you need to look at to determine if this is a component for your problem. So first, let's do the number 1 and the most common, which is menopause and estrogen. Now, why is it when your estrogen goes low that your body fat goes up, particularly around the belly? Studies have shown that estrogen plays a crucial role in elements in the DNA responsible for weight control. And in the absence of estrogen, then you have the problem because that DNA cannot be expressed, and thus weight loss is virtually impossible. In addition to that, when your estrogen starts to go low, your muscle mass starts to go down as well, and thus your body fat percent goes way up. The third issue is that when your estrogen naturally starts to go down, your body in its infinite wisdom wants to still try to produce estrogen. It may produce a different type of estrogen, but where does it get those fatty acids from? It's going to get it from the fat. So in a weird way, your body tries to break down fats in order to produce more estrogen. But the thing is that why would you not lose weight then? The answer is because nature knows that it's going to be breaking down fat, so you start producing more fat. All the energy sources that your body has the ability to use will then be stored as fat. And that is a really fascinating thing that happens regarding estrogen and weight gain. The second are androgens that are produced by the body that are linked to PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. And this leads to weight gain. Number 3, insulin, type 2 diabetes. Many people, as they get older, the diet that they were following in their 20s and 30s and 40s finally starts to catch up to them. The pancreas just cannot keep up with the demand of sugar, or the body just becomes intolerant of the amount of demand. And this is what's called insulin resistance. So the blood sugar goes up, and the sugar really has nowhere to go but to cause you problems. And thus, weight gain starts to become the consequence. Number 4, your thyroid hormones. If you develop hypothyroidism, where your thyroid is not producing the correct amount of hormones for your metabolism, you can really start to gain a lot of weight. Number 5, very common, stress. Stress will cause us to have an increased cortisol and increase adrenaline. This will increase our blood pressure, it will increase our digestive troubles, and it will increase the amount of fat that's stored in the body. The 6th and final hormone that you need to be concerned about are corticosteroids, very often used for medical conditions such as asthma or autoimmune diseases. It's interesting that when you're 20, you usually don't have these problems, but as you get older into your 40s and 50s, a lot of these conditions start to accumulate, and pretty soon before you know it, you're taking corticosteroids for pain, you're taking it for your asthma, you're taking it for an autoimmune disease. Before you know it, you're gaining weight. You see, the corticosteroids that you're taking, it's synthetic cortisol. It's no wonder that you gain weight. So what the heck do you do? If you've been working out like a mad person, if you've been following whatever diet you follow, but you're very strict about it and you just don't seem to be losing weight, one of these 6 culprits could be the solution to you getting the body that you want, and more importantly, becoming healthier and getting your blood pressure down and the visceral fat to go down. So the solution for this is you have to get a blood test to determine and look for these specific hormones. A lot of these tests are not really your standard complete blood count. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So you really need to be proactive and look at these. Now, you could either go to your primary care doctor, you can go to your OBGYN, or in some cases, the lab here in our town allows you to self-referral. You can literally hand-pick the test that you want, and you don't need a referral. But ultimately, looking for these could be the solution to solving this major problem.